The amount of sleep your patients get directly impacts their fat reduction results, no matter how skilled a practitioner you are or what technology you've used. Because here's the deal. Your treatment has destroyed fat in the targeted area, so your patient leaves your business and you both eagerly await her slimming results. But what happens if when she goes home, rather than sleeping a healthy 7 or 8 hours a night, she's sleeping just 4 or 5? Well, that's inadequate sleep, and that alone will lead to fat gain. And even worse, or at least just as bad, it also slows her lymphatic system. So the fat release from your treatment, well, it's not being eliminated. It's still hanging around in her body. If you aren't including sleep as part of your education and post-treatment instructions, you should consider starting. In today's episode, you'll learn why as we discuss the sleep-fat connection, its relationship with our fat reduction treatments, and how you can educate your patients about it. So, stay tuned.
You're listening to the Body Contouring Academy's Proven Profits podcast, where you'll learn simple, actionable strategies from real-world, successful body contouring professionals to help you generate more revenue, realize the profits you want, and create the life you desire. Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kay.
And we're your hosts of the Proven Profits podcast.
Hi there, healthcare professionals and business owners. Kay here. Shannon and I both thank you for being here too. Well, one thing we know for sure in science and medicine, sleep affects both weight and fat mass. Problem is, we live in a society in which sleep is viewed as a waste of time, right? Well, compound that with the chronic stress so many people live with that totally interferes with good sleep, and we have a real problem as a society. Well, this problem directly affects our body contouring treatment outcomes, so we have to address them, at least as far as our patients are concerned. So with any fat reduction treatment you offer, when it comes to your patient's lifestyle, sleep should rank right up there with diet and exercise. And just to be clear, we're talking about all the non-invasive fat reduction technologies, from ultrasound cavitation to cryolipolysis, fat freezing, to lipolaser, sculpture, TrueSculpt, and the list goes on and on. From entry-level machines all the way to medical-grade machines. Any and all non-invasive fat reduction treatments. So let's talk about what you likely include in your education. Most likely it includes instructions like alcohol avoidance, increased water consumption, moderate exercise, and a healthy diet. Sound about right? But does your fat reduction education include instructions and cautions about sleep? Well, likely not, since the relationship between a patient's sleep and its effect on the fat-promoting brain and hormone changes and the lymphatic system performance, well, it's all too often overlooked by most body contouring and healthcare professionals. Until today, hopefully. Today, we'll discuss the 2 ways insufficient sleep interferes with fat reduction. First, fat gain, and second, interference with lymphatic system function. We'll dive into how and why those 2 things happen with insufficient sleep, and we'll provide an example of what we include in post-treatment fat reduction instructions for sleep education and instructions. But first, before we dive into all of that, to best illustrate exactly how it plays out in your practice, take a listen to a real-life scenario from our medical spa, an actual patient story where sleep was the culprit of poor fat reduction results, and how we intervened to reverse it. So here we go. Eleanor came in asking for treatments for fat loss. She told us that she'd gained most of this weight within the past couple of years, with most of the excess fat located around her midsection. She told us she tried diet and exercise multiple times, and it was all without success. Well, our physical assessment revealed abdominal fat, both subcutaneous and visceral. So we recommended fat cavitation for the subcutaneous fat, and we discussed diet and exercise to reduce the visceral fat. She did opt to proceed with the cavitation treatments. Well, at about 3 weeks into treatments, we did a midway evaluation, and guess what? It revealed a weight gain of 5 pounds, no inch reduction, in fact, even a slight increase in some of the abdominal measurements. But Eleanor told us she had been compliant. We knew she'd been coming into our med spa at least 2 to 3 times a week for vibrations therapy sessions, and she reported total abstention from alcohol, copious water consumption, and compliance with our post-treatment diet plan. Now, speaking of diet plans, it's always best to actually give your patients a written diet plan rather than to simply tell them to eat healthy. You need to define eating healthy. We have a great blog article that goes into a discussion of most of the popular diet plans, and in it we also include the type of eating plan we recommend post-treatment. Now, if you're one of our students, you can find our actual diet plan in your BCA community resources section. And if you're not, or you are, and you want to read the blog, we did leave a link to the blog article in today's show notes, and that way you can learn more about it. It provides some great information. So anyway, back to Eleanor. We ruled out diet as the reason for her failure to lose fat, so we explored other lifestyle factors to identify the problem. Now, in our discussion, she told us her employer had been laying off employees. She still had her job, but she was worried. She reported having major trouble with sleeping since then. She said she'd had trouble sleeping since their divorce 2 years ago, but it's even worse now that she's worrying about job security. And when we started digging, she admitted that she had slept no more than 4 or 5 hours a night since she started the fat cavitation treatments. Well, there you have it. We told Eleanor that her fat problem was likely due to insufficient sleep, and we provided her with some instructions. Now, know this, our post-fat reduction treatment education sleep instructions, they are all science-based, proven time and again in research studies. So here we go. Number 1, we told her to establish a relaxing bedtime routine and stick with it forever. Number 2, we told her to go to bed in a dark, quiet, cool room at about the same time each night. Third, we told her to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. And fourth, we told her to wake up at about the same time each morning, no matter how much or how little sleep she'd have. She needed to keep the same sleeping schedule, hours every day, even on weekends. Number 5, she was to avoid food, drink, or exercise within 3 hours of bedtime. Number 6, we told her to make sure she had movement and some exercise each day, like taking a walk at lunch break, taking a walk after work, getting on the treadmill in front of her favorite TV program. Work it in every day. And finally, number 7, we told her while adjusting to all of this, she might consider adding some proven sleep-enhancing supplements. Now, we have a big disclaimer on this one. Though these supplements are generally considered safe, your patients should talk with a physician, either your medical director if you have one, or her personal physician if you don't, before starting any supplements. Now, the 3 particular supplements we talked to Eleanor about were melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that occurs naturally in our body. It signals when it's time to wake and to sleep. Now, it should not be used long term, but short term is okay in most people. And just a warning, it can cause very vivid dreams. It actually affects both Shannon and I this way, and some other side effects. We also talked to her about magnesium. Magnesium is an essential mineral that's been found to improve sleep quality. It's been found to help you fall asleep faster and to get ready for deep sleep through relaxation. And it's also been shown to reduce anxiety and help with depression, which are a couple of reasons people suffer with poor sleep. Now, the difference between magnesium and melatonin: magnesium works by calming the body and the nervous system, whereas melatonin regulates the sleep-wake cycle. And then finally, the third one was apigenin. Apigenin is a compound that's derived from the herb chamomile. It has a sedative-type action, and it promotes relaxation. Now, you can recommend any number of supplements based on your patient's problems, or you can educate your patients about the benefits of each and allow your clients to choose. But make sure this plan is doctor okayed. Be aware that there are many supplements out there that are great to assist with sleep, and maybe do a little research on it. We recommended these 3 supplements based on Eleanor's needs. So, Eleanor leaves, and just 3 weeks later, at our 6-week follow-up, we found great progress. Eleanor had lost all but 1 of the 5 pounds that she gained, and that was in 3 weeks. And she also lost several inches in her abdominal measurements. She told us she'd worked really hard to follow the sleep instructions, and she reported that she felt better than ever. That's significant, right? She was feeling less hungry, and she even felt more focused. Okay, so why were Eleanor's sleep habits interfering with her fat loss from her fat reduction treatments? Well, we know insufficient amount of sleep and poor quality of sleep does that. It was the obvious cause of Eleanor's failure to lose post-treatment fat reduction inches. And it was also, think about this, remember the story, it was also likely the reason she gained the weight in the first place since her divorce 2 years ago, because she had reported having sleeping problems since then, which had worsened with the threat of job security. So now let's examine these 2 consequences of poor sleep. Let's do a deep dive into why there's fat gain and why there's impedance of lymphatic system performance, and what happens when these things occur. Remember, we discovered that Eleanor had experienced sleep problems for the past 2 years since her divorce, and during that time she'd gained 20 pounds, mostly around her abdomen. After starting the fat cavitation treatments, Eleanor experienced additional stressors that led to even greater difficulty in sleeping. So think about it. It's difficult, if not impossible, to see fat loss from fat cavitation when the patient is gaining fat during the treatment series. So let's take a look. Insufficient sleep leads a patient to feel hungrier, to consume more calories, and to eat larger portions. So that's higher caloric intake and weight gain. Listen to this. One sleep study evaluating differences in sleep of just 2 hours a night, found that the shorter night group people, well, they ate an average of 677 more calories each day compared to the normal sleeping hours group. That's significant. Insufficient sleep also directly affects the brain. It makes our brain make poor food choices. The changes that go along with poor sleep, well, it prompts us to crave snacks and sugary, salty, and fatty foods. You know, those comfort foods. Also, too little sleep actually causes people to hang on to fat. Now listen to this. This is pretty startling. Researchers have found that when dieters cut back on sleep over a 14-day period, the amount of weight they lost dropped by 55%, even though the calories and everything else stayed the same. They've even got a term for this. It's called metabolically groggy. This is totally terrible, right? And it totally works against our fat reduction treatments. Now, poor sleep also causes weight gain, specifically to the abdominal area. Researchers have found that people suffering from insufficient sleep experience a 9 to 11% increase in abdominal fat. So you see the importance of including sleep as a focus, as important as diet and exercise, right? When you include it, you help your patient avoid fat gain, and that way can ensure optimum fat loss results. Okay, as if this is not enough bad news, remember there's a second way insufficient sleep can affect fat reduction results, and that's through its detrimental impact on your patient's lymphatic function. Now, before we dive into all of that, Shannon has a brief message for us.
Are you ready to expand your business, boost your income, and enhance patient care and satisfaction effortlessly? Our game-changing online courses pave the way for seamless service expansion, all without a huge investment, endless research, or risky endeavors. Our courses provide comprehensive insights into cutting-edge technologies, step-by-step treatment protocols, downloadable resources, and more. After completing each course, you'll have the knowledge to deliver desired results and generate maximum revenue. Visit bodycontouringacademy.com, click on certification courses from the menu, and discover the courses that can transform your business today.
Okay, number 2 reason why there's a sleep-fat connection. Insufficient sleep impedes the performance of the lymphatic system. Now, before understanding why and how lymphatic impairment from lack of sleep is so detrimental to fat loss results, let's do a short review of the integral role the lymphatic system plays with our non-invasive fat reduction treatments. An unfortunate fact is your patients will likely not see inch loss after undergoing any of your treatments if she has a poorly functioning lymphatic system. So why is this? Well, the lymphatic system's primary role in the body is to eliminate waste, toxins, and excess fluids. There is no other mechanism by which the body can perform these functions. Well, our fat reduction treatments, like fat cavitation, destroy and release fat cells and other debris into your patient's body. Well, this results in additional workload on your patient's lymphatic system because on top of normal function and demands, the lymphatic system must now eliminate the debris left behind from your treatment. Well, studies show us that lymphatic function slows by 22% with insufficient sleep. That's a significant reduction in functioning that packs a powerful punch on your patient's fat reduction results. So we hope by now you see how proper sleep is paramount to fat reduction results. What does your fat cavitation education include? What will it include? We hope you've gained helpful body contouring information and you have a good idea of how you're going to educate your fat reduction patients about sleep. If you apply today's information, you're going to get so much better results for your patients, which in turn will grow your business. So, if you want to learn more from us at the Body Contouring Academy and you're new to our podcast, We're Shannon and Kay, and we're the faculty of the Body Contouring Academy, and we've been med spa owners and operators since 2006. We've been there and we've done it. Our current med spa business has been producing happy patients and generating 7 figures consistently since 2015. And via the Body Contouring Academy, we not only help others with our podcast, we share our knowledge and our expert protocols, techniques, tools, and forms in convenient online body contouring certification courses. We'll leave a link in our show notes so that you can take a look at our current courses if you'd like to. And we'll let you know about our most popular fat reduction course, which is the Body Contouring 6-in-1 Masterclass, where you learn 4 different technologies: fat cavitation, lipolaser, radiofrequency skin tightening, and vacuum LED. You learn how to treat unwanted fat, loose skin, cellulite, and stretch marks. We'll give you the course details also in our show notes. Because here's the deal. It takes more than the basics to deliver top-tier fat reduction services. It takes knowing what the body contouring experts know and what they do. In today's episode, we provided you with just a glimpse inside the world of true body contouring expertise. To develop your own body contouring expertise, you need to seek education that gives you in-depth knowledge that truly explores the nuances of the craft, and it keeps you ahead of the basic industry trends. We hope you enjoyed learning with us today. We love sharing our knowledge and helping others. So until next time, beautiful wishes.
If you enjoyed our podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you take a few minutes to leave us a review. And if you'd like to learn more about our courses and resources, you can get all the scoop by visiting our website, bodycontouringacademy.com. That's bodycontouringacademy.com. Thank you so much for listening. As always, have a great rest of your day. And until next time, beautiful wishes.